Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna be doing some work on an original Xbox. In this video I'm gonna be showing you how to remove the faulty time capacitor that Microsoft decided to use to keep time in the original Xbox. It leaks all over the board, causes a bunch of corrosion, and if you want to keep your original Xbox in working condition, I highly recommend you get rid of this capacitor. If you still want the console to tell time, there's simple ways to install CR2032 or some AAA batteries, but that'll be in another video for you. Okay, so first of all, there are 6 screws on the back here that need to be taken out. One here, one underneath each of these pads, as well as one here, and one right here. Now, a lot of people online, guides showing how to take apart the original Xbox, they'll actually take the entire sticker off. I personally hate that. I like to have the original stickers there. It's part of the console. However, you will have to make a hole in order to get those screws out. So, but it's simple to do. All you gotta do is you use a type T20, I think it is, and just sort of feel around, and you'll notice a dip in the sticker. Just simply take your screwdriver and start unscrewing. And that's it. The thing is once your screwdriver finds the rivets of the screw, it'll break right through the plastic and pull it up. So, get an empty pill bottle to store the screws in. There's one. Let's see. These are the pads, the rubber pads, which we will want to put back on when we reassemble the Xbox. These pads will leave the adhesive right on the console, which is, again, unfortunate because now this is no longer sticky. You're gonna have to apply like literally just half a drop of super glue if you want to put it back on, or a very small drop of hot glue or something. It's not hard to put back on, it's just annoying that they don't stick there. My next will be around here. Feel the last side, here. Just take around. Alright, now that we have all of the screws out, we're going to go ahead and turn this right side up again. And now you'll notice that the top here will be loose. sort of shake it and jimmy it to and fro until it eventually pops off the top of the console. Next, well, I'm going to actually switch angles here. Alright, next we have a few obstacles here that we just want to be careful when removing. First, we want to unplug, or there's a dip here for the IDE cable. Get it out of that dip. And to remove this, carefully pull on each side very slowly. I've noticed these IDE cables are, I wouldn't say sensitive, but they're a little brittle. Sometimes the backs here will break off, and that's not fun, because then you gotta go find an old computer at a garage sale and harvest the IDE cable from that and put it in your original Xbox, like I've had to do many times. But I digress. Next, we're going to get rid of the Molex connector for the hard drive power. I'm going to unclip it from the sides here, and then do the same thing, gently jimmy it free of the hard drive, as gently as you possibly can. These are hard to get out. You can use a pair of pliers, but make sure you grab the plastic. I cannot stress that enough. Don't grab it by the wires. Grab it by the plastic holder. And gently with that, you might not very tight. And just gently move it out. Get it free. Yeah, give me how much trouble so I'm making up. I got my needles. I got just do it. Here we go. Finally got that loose. You might move this tab when undoing this on the back here. If that's the case, just slide it back into place. Next, there are, let's see, there's a screw here and a screw here and a screw here that we have to take care of. Let's see. Oh, these are all T-type heads. Huh, odd. On all the other original Xboxes I've had, the inside screws have been Phillips head, but these should be a type T8 or T9. And I'm going to use a magnet. Here's another good tip. Take a if you have a screw that's stuck in a small crevice, take your screwdriver, take your magnet, hold it on the end of the screwdriver, and then lift up. This will magnetize the entire screwdriver, and when you take the magnet away, the screw falls off. That makes getting screws out a lot easier. Alright, there we go. Now, it should be free. There we go. Yep, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the hard drive along with the hard drive casing. This is one big piece of plastic. We're going to unclip the Molex cable for the power of the hard drive out through the side here and just lift up. And it should come free, as simple as that. Next, we're gonna do the same with the DVD drive, but here we want to be a bit more careful. And the reason why is because we have to remove two cables here. We gotta remove the IDE cable, and we got to remove the power slash open and close eject whatever thing here. So go ahead and gently, especially on this one, this back piece here loves to break on our original Xboxes. Try to get it from the sides if you can. There we go. And it's free. Now, since all we're going to be doing in this video is removing the IDE, or is removing the time capacitor, all I'm simply going to show you is how to identify that capacitor and how to go about removing it. Alright, I need to be up close and personal with the board in order to identify which capacitor needs to be removed. Depending on which revision of the Xbox you have, sometimes you'll have 3 of these 3300 microfarad capacitors in one big line here. Most don't. However, I have come across many that do. Some have the capacitors switched around a bit, but you'll always find the time capacitor usually right here. And it can be identified because, well, here's a flashlight. Let's hope my camera, or it doesn't screw up my camera. It can be identified because it'll usually say B series, and then on the side it'll say 25 volts, 2.5 or 1.5 farads. There's 25 volts. Okay, well, unfortunately, that was a bad example for you guys, but that is the correct capacitor to remove. So what you're going to do to remove it is, first off, you're going to find that its legs are here and here, so you kind of want to move it back and forth a bit, so towards you and then away from you, towards you, away from you, towards you, away from you. You want to make sure that the legs come out with the capacitor. I'm not sure if you heard that tiny like soaking sound, but that was the capacitor leaking electrolytic fluid. And then eventually, once you've gotten it loose, it's not highly recommended that you do this, but I simply take a pair of pliers, grab it firmly. I gotta set this back to smaller gauge on my pliers. Alright, grab it. And then pull up and twist a bit. And we got the capacitor. But guess what we didn't get? Oops. Its legs. That is a problem. You need the legs removed. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm gonna just use my pliers and see if I can grab these legs and pull them out. All right. All right, that one came out pretty quickly. Let's get the second one out. Frankly, if you want to be really professional about this, you should honestly take the entire board out and desolder the capacitor off of the board. But I've done this so many times, and it's just extra work, and frankly, the legs are gone now. Well, there's actually a bit of a leg left on the positive side. We don't want that there. Just make sure you get the entire leg. If this was somebody else's Xbox, I would probably desolder the capacitor from the board. But since this is one of my spares, and it's mine, I'm fine being a little rough with it. Normally I wouldn't be, but yeah. Anyways, now the capacitor is gone. So there is one last thing we do have to do, and that is we have to get rid of the electrolytic fluid that has leaked onto the board. So I recommend a cotton swab and some rubbing alcohol. Just wet the tip in some rubbing alcohol. Scrub around. Get all around the area where this capacitor was. Any fluid you leave will cause corrosion. Oh yeah, and then flip the cotton swab around so it's on the dry side, and then scrub it with the dry side as well. That'll get all of the electrolytic fluid up. I do that all the time with Game Gear cap replacements. Anyways, that is it for removing the time capacitor in your original Xbox. Now, your Xbox will never keep time again. However, there are ways around that. You can actually install a battery on those points using a rectifier. But that's for the next video. For now, we got the leaking time cap done, so we're done. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video.